Hi everybody, this is Steve here at Bywater Farm in Georgetown, Kentucky. I know March is here and we're just dying to get into the yards and mow grass and look at flowers and all kinds of other stuff. It's not quite time for that yet, but I will tell you this. I know you've been looking at my flowers on Facebook and on Instagram and other social media, and you see all these beautiful flowers. Well, that's only right now in our greenhouses. They're not quite ready for you yet. You won't need these until mid to late April and into May. But there's things you can be doing in your yard to start getting it ready for spring. So I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's go outside and let's check it around and let's take a tour and see what we can do for this time of the year. Okay, now we're outside in our friend's yard, and you can see this is still the 1st of March, but you got to start cleaning up. You can't do any real planting yet, but you can start cleaning up. As you can see in these shrubbery, there's some leaves that need to be raked out of them. And it's also, if you look all through here, you're gonna find a bunch of perennials. All these perennials all along here. And those things have done their share of their winter interest, and they've looked great all winter long, but now they're starting to fall over and they're not looking too well. So we've got to go in here and clean them up. But also, in addition to that, right here, he's had some pots. You can see a pot here and a pot here. They had a bunch of flowers in. Those things it's now time to empty the pot, the dirt out of all the pots, and start getting ready for this spring. And right here, we went through his yard and picked up some limbs and all that have fallen out of the trees. So it's now that time of year. It's cleanup time, planting time. What do you want to do for this season? Okay, now before we close today, I'm going to show you a few of the plants that we have here that kind of give you an idea if there's something to use this year in your planters and your yard. And I know the past few years there have been a lot of new type of begonias out there, and they're really awesome. I mean, we've been used to over the years having begonias about that tall in the landscaping. Well, there's new varieties. Right here is what we call big begonias. These bloom pink or red, depending on which variety you get, but they stay that dark foliage. Now, these big begonias, they'll get up 2 feet tall. And so they make a massive show in your yard. Looks awesome. And they keep the blooms up to the top of the plant. Right back here is a brand spanking new one. These are top hat. These are top hat. These have the biggest blooms of all begonias I've ever seen before. Big clumps of blooms right up to the very top. They're in reds, they're in pinks, there's even, I think, some in white, but they have massive blooms, and they'll get about a 1.5 to 2 foot tall. Really an awesome plant. Now, right back here, my favorite, it's still my favorite, is the dragon wing begonias. Now, the dragon wing begonias they'll come up and then they kind of drape over, and I love them in baskets because they drape over and their blooms are hanging down. Just plain awesome. I love them big time. I really, really do. Now, these plants, as you see them here, these are just little bitty plants right here. What we're going to do, we're going to take them, put them in pots and hang in baskets and that type of stuff here in the next week to 10 days or 2 weeks. And they will just blossom out and make beautiful baskets and planters. So all these plants and all this house is nothing but starts that we've taken. We got to transplant them into other pots. I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's go up to another greenhouse and see what else I've got up there. Okay, now right up in this house, we've joined by Stripes, our cat, farm cat. Him and Patches are really good buddies, and he goes all around the farm. They go around playing together all day long. Okay, in this house, we have cuttings that are rooting right now. If you look right down here, this is water coming in these lines here, and then hot water, and then it goes underneath of these trays, and then it comes back. It makes a constant circle, putting hot water under these trays, And these trays are rooting at about 75 degrees underneath here. So if you want a place warm to lay down, right there it is. But we get cuttings in that are unrooted, and then we poke them in the soil, and next thing you know, look what we have. We have plants that have little roots on them. And so this will continue to grow on out, and they'll just grow into big plants for the spring. Now we will take these off of this heat tape next week, and we'll load all these plants back on again. So it's a constant rotation process, about 6 or 8 times. So we have a lot of plants that in the next couple weeks we're going to have to start transplanting. So now you've seen what we kind of do here. You've seen some of the things that you can do for early March in your yard. Now it's up to you to dream and think about your own yard and what some of the plants that you can use in your yard. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.